What's going on, guys? This is episode 1 of the Prime Picks podcast. My name's Devin Hood, here with Austin, Burkhead, Stewart, and Gibb, running it back, talking to you guys about some college football picks for the weekend, and talking about some NFL picks that were got cooked up as well. Before we get started into that, though, we're watching Boise State UNLV, and that brought up the Heisman race. Gibb hit us with the odds a while ago, and what did we have, Gibb, for the Heisman race?
So Travis Hunter right now is at a minus 4,000 odds. He's basically looking like a lock.
That's crazy.
And that's ridiculous. And then Ashton behind him is plus 1,200.
Plus 1,200 odds for the guy that's beating Derrick Henry's 2015 Heisman season.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know why there's such a gap between the two. I understand Travis plays both sides of the ball, but does that really defeat, a Derrick Henry season?
A Derrick Henry type season. Austin was hitting us with some facts a while ago. What'd you say? He carried the ball how many times?
317.
317 carries on the season. He's rushed for over 2,200 yards. So in those 317 times of touching the football, he's ran the football field 22 times. That's crazy numbers.
Pretty impressive.
With the defense trying to stop him the whole time.
With a defense trying to stop him the whole time. And, Boise State, they've not played great competition all season, but they did play Oregon. What did he rush for against Oregon?
192 yards.
192 yards, 3 touchdowns. Averaged how many yards per carry?
7.7.
7.7.
That's insane.
So what do we think right here? If we were going to put money on it, since this is a betting type podcast, if we were putting money on a Heisman winner, where are we going?
I'll tell you what, right now, I'm putting $10 on Ashton Jeanty to win the Heisman.
$10. What does it pay out? Pays out $120. $10 pays out $120.
I'll match that $10.
Even if you don't cash, that's great odds. You can't beat that.
No, I mean, like Gibb said, don't get me wrong. Travis Hunter plays both sides of the ball. He's doing good things on offense and defense. But as Pat McAfee said, snaps don't count in the stat book. Ain't that right, Stuart?
That's right.
So I think from the Prime Picks podcast, we're saying Ashton Jeanty is the plus 1,200. Got to put it on him.
That's where the money's at. You're not going to bet a minus 4,000.
No, I mean, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, there's no money in that to win. So.
And I mean, what happened to the Heisman voting? For the last few years, it's been quarterback. But back in the day, running backs kind of carried that trophy, right?
Reggie Bush.
Yeah, Reggie Bush, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram. He won a Heisman in Alabama. I mean, this was a running back award traditionally.
Is this the second coming of the running back position? You got Saquon Barkley in the NFL leading that. We're close in the runnings for the MVP.
Yeah, he's leading.
He's kind of had a resurgence in his career, actually, Saquon Barkley.
For sure. The running back position might be back.
Might be back. Are they going to have to start paying running backs in the NFL?
They're going to have to.
They're going to hate it. They're going to have to because the difference they make is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we can look at it fantasy football-wise. If you don't draft a good running back,
you're cooked.
You're cooked.
Yeah.
Look at me, Exhibit A. I drafted a semi-decent running back in Jonathan Taylor, and I'm last in the league.
And I mean, he's a decent running back, right?
He is.
But you got to have the guy.
But you got to have a Saquon Barkley or a Derrick Henry, one of the two.
You got to have somebody back there getting you points.
Yes.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and move into our college football picks. We're going to run through a few of these. Nothing crazy because let's just be honest, we only care about the few big games, right?
Right.
Correct.
First thing we're going to look at, Iowa State, Arizona State. Iowa State number 16 in the country, Arizona State number 12. This is pretty much a toss-up from Vegas. Both teams, minus 102 for Iowa State, minus 118 Arizona State. They don't know who's going to win it. I don't either because who watches whatever conference they're in?
Right.
The Pac-12, Big 12.
Pac-12, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going on with all that? But we're here to deliver picks, right? So what are we thinking? Iowa State, Arizona State.
I like an underdog. I'm going to go with number 16 Iowa State.
Go number 16 Iowa State. They are 1.5-point dogs.
I'm also going Iowa State.
What are we thinking, Stuart?
I don't know. I'm going to sit this one out. I don't know enough.
He's going to sit it out. Hey, I don't blame you there. I mean, there's no money to be made.
No.
No money to be made. You're going to lose money.
It's minus money.
Yeah.
The only person winning is Vegas in this one.
That's
unless
right.
you put it in a parlay.
I agree with that. Just for fun, I'm going to go Iowa State. Sure, right? All right, moving on to one that kind of hits a little closer to home for us in the SEC. Georgia, Texas. We've got Georgia as a 2.5-point dog.
Gotta bet Georgia.
Got to bet Georgia for the, for the money aspect, right?
Georgia plus money, yeah.
Georgia plus money.
You can't ever be mad at that.
No.
No, I mean Kirby Smart knows how to win. We've seen that the last few years. He's created a powerhouse there at Georgia for sure.
They know how to get it done in the big games.
Yeah, they do. Which I think part of that plus money is coming back from last week against Georgia Tech, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take Georgia Tech 8 overtimes. Like, there's no way they're going up against Texas.
No.
Yeah, just disrespected.
Yeah,
Yep.
but let's not forget SEC championship game played in
In the
Atlanta,
Georgia Dome.
I mean, that's basically a home game for them.
Oh.
I know Texas is a good football program. They're going to travel.
There's no way they're going to win the SEC in their first year in the SEC. No way.
But what if they do?
I'm kinda
The first
leaning
two I was
towards-
wrong.
I'm leaning towards more of a Texas, possibly a minus 5.5 point spread.
Yeah, I mean,
plus 124 odds.
I think maybe you take Georgia in its own little separate bet all by itself, just to, just in case, get a little insurance. But that's a game I can see Texas winning, kind of not handedly, but 9 to 12 points.
Yep.
'Cause I just don't know
Hard to call.
if Georgia could really come back against the Texas team, because they've had a couple games this season where it's not been looking too good in the first half,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they make that miracle run in the second half. I think Texas might be too good of a team to allow that to happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Half of us here are Kentucky fans, the other half Louisville fans. I'm sure you'll hear more from them shortly about that. But we've seen the Kentucky-Georgia game. Kentucky was a terrible football team this year. And really, that one interception that got overruled, Kentucky should have won that football game.
Georgia has struggled this year against teams they should not struggle against.
They really have. And I mean, especially Georgia Tech. 8 overtimes.
8 overtimes.
That should have been,
That should have been
easy
a
day
dog
for
walking.
Kirby
Yeah,
Smart.
dog walking.
Yeah.
Should've.
But can still come back against Bama when they're down.
Yep.
And let's
How
not
many
forget
points
here,
that way?
actually, Georgia and Texas have already played this season.
They have.
And that was a Georgia dog walking.
You think
Now they're
Texas comes
plus
out
one.
and
I
gets
think they'll
dog
do it
walked
again.
twice?
I think they will.
I don't think they do. I think Steve Sarkisian has his team ready. I think they see first year SEC championship, and I think he gets the boys ready to be able to play some football. I really do.
I mean, yeah, I can see it.
So what are we thinking? Me and Gibb leaning Texas, Austin leaning Georgia,
Playing in Georgia.
I'm leaning Georgia.
leaning Georgia, Stewart.
I mean, in theory, Texas, but as a betting man, I would be working with the spread somewhere in there. I would Georgia plus 2.5 or something like that, maybe.
That
Yeah,
is
it could be
actually the
closer.
spread right
Yeah,
now.
like,
22.5. Well, let's
Or
over
3.5.
under
Same with
49 and a
football.
half. First game Georgia Tech's played. I know Georgia scored 33-13. Sounds right to me in my head for some reason. If somebody could look that up and fact check me on that.
I think I'm hitting the over on that one.
Before we said we weren't going to fact check on this, but you know how that goes.
I'll take the over.
Take the over at 49 and a half.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think I'm going to take the under.
That's
they're
fine. Just
two
big
very
shootout.
good defenses going at it. I feel like it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to take the under.
Yeah.
It was 30-15.
30-15, so close with that 33-13, previous saying. But
Very close.
30-15, where was that game played at?
At Texas,
At
wasn't it?
Texas.
At Texas. So, I mean, it just depends on what Georgia team you get. I think that really is what it comes down to. Do you get that early season, 30-15 walking into Texas, getting the win after, a week of struggling? I think they had played, the week before, didn't look too hot. Or do you get the Georgia that came out and went 8 overtimes with Georgia Tech and, really could have lost that game in a few overtimes?
Well, what quarterback's going to be playing for Texas? What's going on with that?
I mean, I think you got to rock with Quinn Ewers, right?
Got to.
You got
I
to.
guess, but why is Manning getting the playing time?
I don't know.
How does that work? Like, how do they decide that?
I think at this point you got to go Quinn because
He's been the
apart
guy.
from his injury,
Yeah.
he was the guy. They have been a team that has switched a couple times at quarterback mid-game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you just kind of see who's putting you in the best position to win that game.
Yeah,
What, just
Georgia.
And I think Quinn's that
Quinn
guy.
a couple quarters. If he isn't looking good, throw Manning in there.
Yeah, I think you start Quinn. I think you see what happens first quarter, second quarter. If he's maybe throwing an interception or two, not looking good, getting flushed out of the pocket, Maybe see what old Arch Manning's got in his backpack.
Yeah.
But I think at that point you got to start Quinn. You got to roll with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good quarterback.
He's been the guy all year long.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they have a bright future ahead though with
Yes, very
Arch
bright.
Manning. We know.
For sure.
So what do we got? Oh, Boise State touchdown.
Look at the knee.
Knee. Oh, he didn't touch.
The knee did not touch.
Oh, that's close.
That is close. I don't know. We're gonna have to see what they call here, boys.
He's not happy about it.
All right, so moving on from Georgia, Texas. Clemson, SMU. So this is good for our ACC guys here. Clemson, SMU. Clemson is a 2.5-point dog.
I got to take SMU.
Got to take SMU. Now, for the Louisville fans, you all told me before we started this, obviously Louisville dog walk Clemson. We watched that game together.
At Clemson.
At Clemson, Louisville lost to SMU this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was the score on that one? Anybody know?
I believe we lost by 7.
Lost by 6. So, I mean, that's not bad. So, that's one that you're kind of thinking, do you ride with Dabo Swinney, though? He knows how to win. He's kind of like, Kirby Smart in that way. He's been here before, not scared of the big game.
Yeah. ACC championship. Yeah, I think I'll take the guy that's been there. Knows it.
Yeah.
Especially plus money.
Plus 112.
Be hard to bet against Clemson, but
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah, I got to agree. Dabo's been there several times already. I think he's going to get it done.
You could get a nice little parlay cooked up with Georgia and Clemson at plus money.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I think we're all rocking Clemson on that one.
For sure.
I'm going to say SMU still.
Oh, Austin saying SMU, that's right.
I think we'll go with SMU as well.
SMU.
I already had a
Nice.
parlay cooked up, actually.
He's already got it locked in, putting real money down on it. USD, American dollars.
Well, the Georgia and Clemson parlay, both plus money, comes out to plus 362.
Plus 362.
Yeah. Not terrible odds for
Not
two
terrible.
powerhouses to win in plus money.
Yeah, I mean, how many national championships do they have between them in the last?
Exactly. Who has dominated the last 10 years?
Yeah. Not a bad bet to run there. Over under on that one, 55.5. That's a lot of points.
That is a lot.
SMU scores a lot of points.
SMU does score a lot of points. I think it kind of comes back to, like we were talking about Georgia, which Clemson teams do you get?
Right?
Yeah.
Do you get Clemson that got beat by South Carolina, gets beat by Louisville, or do you have a traditional Dabo Swinney Clemson team that comes out and plays good football?
I think I take the under on that one.
Yeah,
I
I got
agree.
I would
Stewart.
also take under.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Which we also know Trevor Lawrence is not walking into Clemson to suit
No,
the quarterback.
no.
He's not walking at all right
Well,
now.
yeah, he may be out permanently. Which actually, it's funny. So I had Trevor Lawrence on my fantasy team as my backup for this week because Lamar Jackson's my main guy, and so I was like, week 14, they got a good matchup. They're playing Tennessee.
Titans,
Yeah.
I was like, Trevor Lawrence gonna have a big game, and then he gets killed.
Yep.
And so that was an instant drop Wednesday morning. That was a drop and trade.
Yeah.
So, prayers up, Trevor Lawrence.
For sure.
And then last college game we're going to talk about, Penn State, Oregon. Oregon is only 3.5-point favorites in this one.
No, I'd go higher than that if I was putting money on it.
Yeah, that was one that we talked about before the podcast, thinking maybe alternate spread, 6.5, 7 points going towards Oregon, right?
Yep.
I have bet on Penn State a couple times this season. Each time they've done me wrong. I don't like James Franklin. He really bothers me. So I would take Oregon no matter what here. But, that's a little bit of judgment talking. What do we think?
So the Oregon minus 6.5, since we were talking about the alternate for a second, they're plus 130 for that. So a little profit, but
Not crazy.
not crazy.
Now, cook a parlay.
Yeah, I would say that's
Georgia,
the parlay.
Clemson,
All right, I'm on
plus 6.5. What kind of money are we looking at?
All right, let's see. Alternate spread.
And guys, we're doing this real time. We don't have any fancy
Wow.
equipment. We got phones out, so you're just going to have to bear with us.
Oregon minus 6.5 with Georgia money line. Clemson money line is plus 962.
Plus, see, so we're getting up there. And one thing too, guys, we're normal people. We're not like these, fake cappers that are on Twitter posting, hey, follow this, see what kind of group you're getting in, $30 a month, Discord. We're not doing that. we're not betting $100, $200 on each bet. We're throwing, $5, $10. We're normal people.
Yeah.
We're not out here trying to rip anybody off. So, good time to get into the disclaimer. We are not offering any gambling advice here. We don't know what we're doing just as much as the next guy.
Just what the heart tells us.
Just what the heart tells us. In some cases, it may be which color we like better.
Just guys being dudes talking football.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, with that being said, we're not idiots. We do occasionally, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
That's right.
So that's
Sometimes
what
we
we're
just
going
get a little
for.
too greedy.
That is the problem. We get a little greedy.
Yeah.
Last season, I seen that guy hit that anytime touchdown, like 16 legs. Remember, it was like $5. He won like $400,000.
Yeah.
I was like, that's me.
Oh yeah, I can mean him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Rodriguez came back last week, signed back to the Washington Commanders. Maybe he gets in this week. I might throw him in a parlay.
Ooh, might.
Yeah.
Might. Eckler's hurt too, no? Right?
Who knows? Don't care. Might throw him both.
You know he's gonna get some snaps. He's got
For sure, he's getting the snaps.
It seems like every time you think, hey, he could have a big game, he comes out and does it and then gets dropped.
Yep.
They've picked him up from the practice squad 2 or 3 times now. But so maybe they know something we don't.
Maybe.
They probably do.
Maybe they just piss him off good enough, and they're like, all right, bring him up week 14. We've got him good and mad. He's going to run through a brick house.
Yep.
All right, Penn State, Oregon, 50.5 over under.
Well, in the Burkhead household, we are big-time haters of Penn State. So my wife would probably kick my butt if I were to pick Penn State. So for that very reason, I'm about to go with Oregon.
Go Oregon. Oregon likes to score a lot of points.
They don't
do.
score.
Dan Lanning is a pretty good offensive coach.
But if you sit here and look at it, both for all 12 games this season,
Mhm.
both teams have hit the under 7 times.
Yeah.
They've only hit the over 5.
Well, I know the few times I've bet on Penn State, as unfortunate as that has been, it's been their low-scoring games. Maybe rock with the under here.
I would say that.
I'll
Under
say go
doesn't
with the
sound
under.
terrible.
Yeah.
I
It
kind
might
of
be a
like
defense-heavy game.
What could be 28-20? Under still hits.
Yeah, 20, yeah, that's
I
very
mean,
I'm rolling with the
28-20.
under.
Going with the under. I agree.
Going with
I
the
like
under.
the under on this one, yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to add, college football wise, going into the week? What's the score on Boise State?
14-0.
14-0.
So it wasn't
Boise
It
State.
was a touchdown.
It was a touchdown.
Was a touchdown. No review here.
Nope.
Good deal. All right. We're going to go ahead and move into some NFL picks, guys. Stuart is our main NFL guy. We all play fantasy football together. We're in the same league. Me and Stuart are actually going up against each other this week. It's the last week of our regular season. So Stuart is actually not running with a quarterback this week. Both quarterbacks are on a bye, so he's just left them in. I was thinking easy win until last night when Green Bay and Detroit went against each other. And my receiver decided to catch no balls. They didn't throw to him at all.
Who's your
He
receiver?
had one target.
He had one target, Reed.
Jalen Reed.
Jalen
was
Reed.
quiet last
One
night.
target.
Very quiet.
He had 2 touchdowns last week.
Yes.
And then comes out this week, they throw the ball at him one time, he doesn't catch it, and they're like, well, screw him.
Hit or miss. I swear every receiver on the Packers could just blow up or do nothing any week. Like Wicks,
Yeah.
Kraft. I mean,
And with-
anybody who's catching a ball could be all or nothing.
With Dobbs being out last night, you would think Reed would have got several more targets,
Yeah.
but he didn't.
So,
Jacobs 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
crazy thing was last week I bet on Reed to get, I think it was like 65 plus receiving yards.
Yeah.
He had the 2 touchdowns, but I think he only finished with like 24 yards.
Yeah, they were both pretty close to the end zone, I believe, right?
Yeah, one of them was like a 2-yard reception.
Yeah, he had 1 catch, 2 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And that was good enough for me to get some points out of him. So I was like, hey, I'm going to ride with him. He catches that other touchdown. He puts me up big last week. I decided to play him this week over Calvin Ridley. I was like, because Calvin Ridley, same thing, hit or miss. You never know what you're going to get out of him.
Yep.
And we got 0 points out of it. So going against Stewart with no quarterback, what thought was an easy win, we're going to have to see.
I'm projected to win by like 4 right now.
Yeah, I know.
But-
And a low-scoring affair. Take the under.
So you're just not going to pick up a quarterback? Or
I've got the bye locked in. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about points. I don't have to worry about a win.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
I've got week 14 and 15 off. I'll see y'all on week 16.
That's the thing. Me and Stuart both, we, like I said, he's got the bye locked. I'm locked for the playoffs. So this is kind of one of those participation trophy weeks for us. It's Just going in the win or loss column doesn't really matter at that point. He's got 2 solid quarterbacks on his team, so I don't blame him for taking the gamble on dropping one of those, having somebody else pick them up.
Who are your quarterbacks?
Got Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels.
Solid.
Big
Bo
time.
Nix been
Decent.
balling.
No, number
Jaden Daniels did
3
balling out.
quarterback
Yeah.
and number 7. Yeah, both of them are doing very well.
Both of them doing very well. All right, guys, we're going to move into our NFL picks for the week. First thing we're going to look at, Raiders, Buccaneers. Over-under set at 46.5. So we're going to talk a little bit money line, talk a little spread. We're going to focus a little heavy on the over-under because back in September, me and Stuart cooked up an over-under, 16 legs, $5 would have won, what, 60,000,
It was
something crazy.
57,000. Yeah,
And we were off 2 legs.
yeah.
So that
Barely just missed it
just
too.
barely missed. I mean, it was like we took the under on one game and they went over 7
Only
points.
one of them was Ravens Raiders, and it was like a 10-point game come to halftime, and then they just started scoring like crazy. And we took the under on it,
Yeah.
and they just scored like crazy in the fourth quarter. If that didn't happen, we were another like closer to 50 grand right there or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, so we were really close. So we're going to focus a little bit over-unders. Like I said, we're going to hit some money line as well, maybe some spread. Raiders, Buccaneers, 46.5. What are we thinking here, Stuart? Raiders plus 235, but the money line, by the way.
I mean, I like the Buccaneers. If we're looking just at the spread, I like the Buccaneers at 6.5. That's what it's looking at. Minus 110. I like that. I want to bet the over here.
The Buccaneers, and does it worry you a little bit last week, Buccaneers and Panthers? Having a little bit of trouble with the Panthers.
Yeah, but I just feel like they're just going to score. I feel like neither of these defenses are very good. I know the Panthers weren't either, but I don't know. That's just an odd one. That
Yeah.
was a divisional rival, too.
That is true. And Raiders, Brock Bowers. Got him on the fantasy team. He's going off.
Yeah, they're going to
Going
score. There's going to
on.
be points put up.
They're going to score a lot of
Yeah.
points. I agree with that. I'm going to take the over on that one.
Yeah.
And as we're talking about these, we're going to lock in real-time bets, guys.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you anything that we're not going to bet ourselves. That'd be
Yep.
crazy. What's the point in doing it if you're going to do that, right?
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to go over 46.5, Raiders, Buccaneers. All right, Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers. Heated rival game, right? 43.5 on the over-under.
I know I'm going to look at the spread real quick just to mention that. I would probably take the spread on the Steelers. Minus 6.5, I do like that.
Yeah.
I know they lost last time in the snow game. That's like a one-off. I think they're still...
It's a heavy snow game, too.
Yeah.
So, that
Yeah, it's different.
affects the gameplay. So.
I feel like they're by far the better team, and Jameis is going to choke a little bit. I love Jameis Winston, but he had, 2 pick sixes last game? I mean,
Yeah.
the Steelers' defense is very good. They're going to take advantage of that whenever they can.
Yeah.
So I like the spread there at 6.5. But the over-under...
43.5. They put up a lot of points against the who was it? The Broncos.
Yeah.
That was a high-scoring game.
That was crazy.
But-
Broncos is a very good defense.
But
and
2
Jameis
pick
was-
sixes.
Yeah.
You're going to get points off
True.
2 pick sixes.
Yep. I don't know. That's a tough one.
That
I
is
would-
tough.
like-
Probably stay away from that one.
If you told me at the beginning of the year, I would slam the under. But right now that Winston's at quarterback, I
I'll
don't want to hit the over.
I'll take the
because-
over.
I'm taking the
I
over.
mean, yeah, the pick sixes just add up.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
mean,
value.
yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter for over/under
Yeah.
purposes who throws the ball to who.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We
If
just
points
need
on the
points.
board, you're telling me that this game won't be 24-20?
And that hits the over.
That's over. 24-20?
You've talked me into it.
Yeah.
You talked me into it. Over 43.5, boys. Yeah, I mean, Jameis Winston threw for like 500 yards.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, Jerry Jeudy had, it seemed like double-digit catches and 200-something yards, a couple touchdowns. It was crazy.
Now,
Against Patrick Surtain.
yeah, when their season ends, do they even take into consideration moving back to Deshaun Watson?
I think they are.
No.
I would not.
I
Deshaun
don't.
Watson, how many 300-yard passing games has he had? What, maybe one?
How
or
many
something?
games has he played as a Brown?
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
And he's also got a lot of off-field baggage that comes along with him, so they might want to move on from that.
I don't think it comes along with him, Bert. I think it kind of stays where it's
Yeah.
at. Yeah, I mean, I would not. I wouldn't do that.
No.
No.
I would. I mean,
He's
worst case
gone.
scenario, you have Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Best case, you go get somebody that back him up, or maybe even he becomes the backup again. and you get a young guy maybe.
Yeah, you could draft somebody, find somebody else, trade for somebody, but like.
I don't think
Jameis
Deshaun
Winston-
Watson's the answer.
I don't think so either. I would much rather see Jameis Winston back here.
I agree.
I think it gives more hope, more enthusiasm for the game, and encouragement to everybody on the team. Even
Yeah.
like I think it's a better team altogether when you put Jameis Winston back there.
And I mean, I know this really kind of. I don't know if they look at it football wise. I know they're on like PR marketing probably looks at this. The amount of goodwill they get from Jameis Winston.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're making money off
Huge.
that just because of his interviews and
Yeah.
how he talks.
Yeah.
You got to run with what's making you money.
He's a character. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
Dude's
definitely
a goofball.
yeah.
He's a huge goofball.
Yeah.
And
Was in his press conference after the Broncos game, he said, "I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from some pick sixes."
Did y'all see
Like, there's no one else like that.
Did y'all see where he's trying to do the hard snap count, trying to get who were they playing?
I know what you're talking about, though.
He's trying to do the hard snap count. He said, "Hey! Somebody jump off sides!"
Yeah, just jump off sides.
Yeah, I have seen that. So, like, that's a guy that, I'm sure, I don't know, we don't know any Cleveland Brown fans, but I think you would have to think they like
Do
him.
they even exist?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they exist somewhere. Is LeBron James a Browns fan?
Who knows? I think he's a Cowboys fan.
How's that?
Cowboys
even-
and
That's not
Ohio
any better.
State
It's not any
fans.
better.
You're from Cleveland.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
just Ohio State fan. That's it.
That's not how that works.
Well, I guess when you got the Browns as an option, that's how it goes.
I mean, that is true.
Can't
See,
blame-
Yeah, if you live in Cleveland, you just get free reign if you want.
See, and we live in Kentucky, so we get a free pick of who we like in the NFL. We can pick anything across the country.
We got a mixture here. Devin, me and you are Packers fans.
Yeah.
Austin over here, he's unfortunately a Cowboys fan. So it's a healthy mixture.
So, we get to pick. LeBron James, you don't get to pick.
No,
You're from
have to
Cleveland.
be
Yeah.
a Cleveland guy
Fraud.
for sure.
So, over under 43.5. We're taking the over.
They know.
All right.
Genty touchdown.
I think I'll take the
Touchdown.
Genty
Boise State.
touchdown.
Helps
About
the
to be
Heisman race.
21-0 right before halftime.
I'm feeling better about that Heisman pick.
Just moved him up to a 4th overall rushing leader.
What is the rushing leader yardage?
That I'll have to get back to you on.
I had looked at it earlier in the year, and I was thinking, depending on how many games they have left, he may be able to get close to it. I don't know if he would get it
14 rushes, 132 yards.
in a touchdown.
He's already broken the Boise State school record.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing we talked about also before the podcast, we talked a little bit, before the podcast. Bush Hampton, offensive coordinator for Kentucky, at Boise State last year. Why did he not bring Ashton Genty with him to Kentucky?
Poor choice.
Which, I mean,
He probably tried.
he may have tried. We wouldn't have used him right. We didn't use anybody right this year, except the kicker. He did good. He did good things. But, if we'd have had that in the backfield, that'd been great.
No, that is crazy though because
He'd probably-
Kentucky is they want their running back and they have a fairly good offensive line every year.
Not this year.
We tried.
They can make running backs out of
Yeah.
nobody off of their offensive line.
Look at
I
look at our
think-
past running backs: Benny Snell, Chris Rodriguez, Ray Davis. We had
Exactly.
running back
Boone
talent.
Williams.
Boom
JoJo
Williams.
Kemp.
Yeah, exactly. Like if Genty was back there with a good offensive line,
Oh, he's dominating.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Genty would make the offensive line look better as well.
We're a lot better than
I think they help each other.
Yeah, stat.
Okay, so update. Barry Sanders should have probably known that. Leading rusher all time, 2,628 yards. And we talked Ashton Genty had 2,200 and some
2288
change.
before this game.
Depending on how many games they are able to sneak in, I don't think they're going to sneak into the playoffs, are they? Or
I think there's talks there.
They might.
yeah, they were a lock earlier in the year, and then they lost the one game. So I don't know. Does this automatically get them in?
I'll check
think
on
it
that.
does.
I would think
it
so.
does.
I think they.
This whole 12-team playoff thing, we're figuring out.
I think they might have a bye.
Do they get the bye? Are they one of the top 4?
Yeah, because
think
the
so.
byes are divisional wise, like
Yeah, like SEC
Yes,
champion
yes.
gets a bye. ACC
conference
champion,
wise.
yeah,
I should say.
conference.
Yeah, I think right now it looks like they are the 4 seed and they're gonna bye.
Okay, well, hey,
So it's gonna be hard for them to drop out if they.
so they win this game here. He gets another game. If they potentially win that, go on to play maybe for a national championship. He has the opportunity to get those 2,630 yards that he would need.
Yeah.
And at that point,
He only needs roughly 200 more yards.
yeah, he may get that
And
this
it's still,
game.
yeah, you might.
He may
might.
get
So
that.
it's not even the second half yet.
And that's the crazy thing. I've not watched Boise State football. I mean, who does, right?
Yeah, nobody does.
But from what I've heard, they've set him out, second half of a lot of games because they're up so big. I mean, if you got a guy that's close to approaching the all-time rushing record for NCAA football,
You got to play him.
You got to play him.
I'm blowing some teams out. I'm taking the old Josh Heupel, Lane Kiffin aspect, and I'm putting 80 on somebody.
Got to.
Yeah, I feel like he could have already broke it.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, if they played him like they just blow people out, and he has like probably 200 yards and 2 touchdowns at the half, and you're sitting him. Like if you do that for another half, like gosh, you'll break a lot of records.
Is UNLV's quarterback Hank Williams?
Oh, he just got picked off. I see that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More Genty yards before half. 10 seconds left.
Hank Williams third.
All right, guys. Next up, Jags Titans over under 39.5. What do we think?
I mean, we got
That's gonna be
Mac Jones.
Yeah, I'm under.
That's gonna be an awful game to watch. I'm
But
taking the
Pollard, I
under.
need him.
Pollard. You think Pollard should get something done here? Jacksonville defense is not that good. Surely Pollard could get something done.
I say
Jackson rushing defense.
Jacksonville's without Trevor Lawrence. Will Levis has just been atrocious this year. Yeah, I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Will Levis will actually have a very good game. I think Jacksonville's secondary is not good enough, and with him having Mac Jones as starting quarterback, I think it just kind of makes the defense is going to be on the field more. I think it's just going to be worse. But I think Will Levis will probably have a big game. So if there's any prop bets for Will Levis, I might be hitting the over. As much as a Louisville fan, I don't really care for the guy, but I would probably take the over on Will Levis anything this week.
Will Levis is the highest projected points quarterback in free agency for our league right now.
Oh yeah, you see, there we go.
17.2 points is what he's projected.
I think this week is a really good week for him, and Titans. It might be a blowout. I would take them like -6.5.
-6.5.
Yeah, I know that's it's only -3.5, but I would take the alt.
Yeah.
I don't think Jacksonville can keep up. The way the ETN and Bigsby and just the entire offense has just been not good, and especially when you throw Mac Jones into it, there's no way.
No.
How is Mac Jones still in the NFL?
I have no idea.
Somehow he's still in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I had to step out for a moment. Over under 39.5. What do we pick on that?
I don't think we ever came to a decision.
No?
To be honest
I'm
with you.
taking the under. Those are two really bad teams, not high-scoring teams. I gotta go with the under.
I wouldn't hate the under. The Titans' defense is kind of sneaky good,
Yeah.
but if it's like
Do the Titans, I think the over-under question here, do the Titans have the opportunity to put up 30 points?
I wouldn't say 30. If you told me 27 or somewhere in there, 24, yeah. 24-10?
24-10, but that doesn't hit the over. 39.
What about 24-17?
24-17 would.
They would hit the over?
Yeah.
Shoot.
See, that's what,
Yeah.
it's 39.5. So I think if the Titans got to 30, then you could potentially see a aspect where, it's a 30-13 game, 30-10, something like that.
Yeah. Let me check the team totals here. I'm going to take a look. Team totals have the Titans at over-under is 21.5, and Jags is 18.5. I don't even know if the Jags will score 18.5 points.
Yeah, I don't really like that too well.
With Mac Jones, there's no way they're scoring that much.
I would take the over on the Titans at 21.5, and then take the under on the Jags.
Honestly, I can see 2 field goals and maybe a touchdown with the Jags. So that puts you at 13. I don't see much more hope than that. Maybe you get a lucky interception, get a little extra yards, maybe get in field goal range one more time. So you're looking 13, 16 points for them. I'm not too impressed with anything besides the under on them.
Yeah, I think I'd take the under. And the Titans spread, -6.5. I would like that.
So taking the under and the Titans spread.
Yeah.
All right. Under 39.5.
Yep. On it.
Panthers, Eagles, over under 45.5. Obviously, Panthers big underdogs, 13.5 on the spread.
Yeah. Good
Bryce
luck.
Young's been putting it together.
He has been. He's looked a lot better than he
He
did at the
has.
beginning of the season. I think, he needed some time to learn, and then I think, kind of being benched like that, something he had never really had happen to him, maybe kind of lit a little fire underneath of him, right?
And Andy Dalton,
Andy Dalton was
took
good.
him
Red
under his
Rocket.
wing.
He looked good for a few weeks there, but I
But
mean,
I think-
he knows ball for sure.
Yeah, I think he, kind of took him under his wing, and now Bryce Young's kind of balling.
That's kind of what you need. If you got a young quarterback, have an Andy Dalton type, hey, this is what we expect out of you. This is what we need you to do.
Yeah.
I think that's,
You need veteran players. You need
gotta have 'em.
that guy.
It's about like Tom Brady was talking about. Like, why are we getting all these rookie quarterbacks and just throwing them to the wolves here?
Yeah.
And like expecting them to just be them,
Setting
like
him up for failure.
just be it. Yeah, you're setting them up for failure. You used to go and learn like all this stuff, and now it's just like you're just going in.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you can't be surprised when they do bad. Like you got to learn somehow, somewhere.
Right.
Learn the program. Learn this everything that's going on.
yeah. So over 45.5.
I would bet the over.
I take the over.
Eagles are going to score.
Eagles are going to score, especially against Carolina.
Yeah.
They're all.
And then let's just say the odd chance, Bryce Young gets a little hot.
It could be dangerous.
Maybe like a 35-14 type game.
As much as I hate
Yeah.
to say, the
Yeah,
Eagles,
for sure.
Eagles offense has just been so dominant this year. There's no way
Yes.
they're not. We're taking the under.
I would
on that.
expect them to score at least like once a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
And then a couple field goals, and that automatically like if
They
the-
nearly hit the over themselves. At
yeah
that point.
exactly like if the Panthers even put up like 10 points and the overs hit.
Yeah.
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 Tush push here and there. They got to cover that.
For sure, yeah. You got A.J. Brown, Saquon.
Saquon.
I mean, it's going to be hard to contain them, especially as the Panthers' defense. And then you're at the Eagles.
Yeah. And Eagles fans, earlier in the season, they were a little down. I've got a buddy that lives in Philadelphia. They were not the happiest bunch of people. But since this resurgence of the Eagles, the city has bought back in.
They didn't
Sa-
look good at the beginning.
They didn't look good at the beginning of the
It
year.
saved Sirianni's job too. He was kind of on the hot seat this year.
That he was. I think, what do you think brought him back? Saquon doing the
Saquon.
backwards
gosh,
hurdle?
Yeah,
for
Saquon's
sure.
just been a revival for running backs
He
in
is
general. let
so
alone,
dominant in that backfield.
Yeah.
Specifically the backwards hurdle, though.
Yeah,
That's
for
what,
sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
that moment, they were like, hey, this is him. He is him.
This is the Saquon we've been wanting
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, over 45.5.
Over,
Panthers,
for
Eagles.
sure.
Easy.
for sure. Over.
All right. Falcons, Vikings. 46.5. So, little quick thing here. Kirk Cousins was my backup until he threw 2 interceptions and scored like 3 points in fantasy. So then I picked up Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence dies. Moved on to Caleb Williams at this point. I
Not a
thought
bad
this point, I picked him up for Week 14 specifically since Lamar was on a bye. I thought maybe, Kirk Cousins going back to Minnesota. Does he just
Ooh,
ball out?
Okay, you're on to something.
He might.
Revenge game.
Revenge game.
The last revenge game we seen was Jerry Jeudy going to the Broncos, and he went out of control. He might have lost.
But he
but
had
it
a
was,
good game.
That was like the best numbers Judy's ever dreamed of
Yeah.
that he put up.
Which Vikings are favored by 5.5.
That's
Over under 46.5.
I don't know, but
I
that
don't
was
know.
tough.
I think under.
Kirk Cousins is both of these teams. I feel like are hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to put a number on what they're going to do. It could be a shootout, or if you told me it was 17-10, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Vikings have been a little bit off here recently too.
They have.
And the Falcons have too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Falcons have.
Well, you have Kirk Cousins. He throws 2 interceptions and
Yeah.
gets 3 fantasy points. I mean, that doesn't translate to winning football.
No.
Not at all.
I think this may be one we skip, boys.
I would skip it. I don't know if I'd put money on it. Either way, I don't know if I could trust it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put money on it, but if I were, I would bet the under.
Bet the under.
Yeah, under.
Now, the next one coming up, at the beginning of the season, I would have said bang the under. Now I don't know. Jets, Dolphins. Over under 44.5. At the beginning of the year, Jets could not do anything right. I mean,
Yeah.
that would have been
taking the under. I
They
think.
still haven't been able to do too much right.
No.
It's crazy.
No.
Like they should be a much better team than what they are. Like I want to like them so bad and just root for them, but gosh, they
Is Brees Hall
they're
playing?
struggling. I think he's questionable.
I don't think he's.
I think he's actually doubtful.
I don't think he's playing.
Yeah.
the one that worries me about the over under on that at 44.5. What's the off chances Tua and Tyreek Hill go off?
It's possible.
Could. You
I
never know.
mean, if they have a good game, they score 28 to 34 points. What are the chances at that point? The Jets surely they score 10. If they score 34, 35 points, Jets score 10 over hits.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
But I guess it just comes down to how much faith do you put into Tua and Tyreek Hill.
As long as he doesn't get his brain scrambled again.
Yeah.
and how much do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to do?
Not much.
He's been hit or miss like all year.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know if he's just going to like not throw any touchdowns or not look very good or throw 3 to the same guy.
Right.
You know, I don't know. That's a tough one. I know for sure. I would say I'm taking.
Taking Dolphins money line.
Yeah,
For
I would,
sure.
Yeah.
The
For
spread is
sure.
-5.5. I would even alternate that just to get a little bit more cash at like -6.5.
Yeah.
I think they would win by a score. The
Yeah,
Jets
so
haven't
too.
looked that good,
No.
but
Yeah, I mean -6.5. That would bump it up to right at plus money.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take it plus
102.
money.
Yeah, plus 102. So maybe not hit the over under on that one, but go Dolphins alternate spread.
And keep in mind, it is at Miami.
Yeah,
So,
at Miami.
that's not in the cold.
Yeah.
If it's in the cold, you fade everything.
Yes.
Well, Mike McDaniels loves the cold.
His players
Mike
don't,
Daniel,
though. His
yeah.
players hate the cold.
Well,
Yeah. Tua is like 0-7 when it's like 40 or less degrees outside.
what can you say? I mean, the guy's from Hawaii.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand it.
yeah.
You don't want to play. You're in Miami. You went from Hawaii to Miami. You're used to just warm all year round.
Alabama. It doesn't. I mean, whenever he was playing cold football, he was indoors playing for championships.
Yes.
He was in domes.
You
And
cannot
then-
handle the cold.
yeah. It's not that cold. It's not like going up to New England playing
No.
cold, you know?
All right, so I think we'll do alternate spread on the Jets Dolphins.
Yeah.
All right, next one coming up: Saints Giants over under 41.5. This was a lot easier when we did this at the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah. Because the
Vegas-
Saints was a locked in at that point.
Yeah, Vegas has they get better as the season goes.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it rolls, right?
Giants are just riding the struggle bus.
Yeah. What about the whole Daniel Jones thing?
That's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they kept him this long.
They did, yeah. That's
They
crazy.
paid him as much as they did.
Paid him, kept him, and then they had him playing like fourth string safety at practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what is it, last-ditch effort to keep him on the team? Like, what is that? That's
Oh, wow.
crazy.
Apparently that's a thing. I was seeing an interview with somebody, I don't remember who it was, one of the many podcasts that are out there or something, but fourth string quarterbacks will play scout team safety. I don't know how that translates.
Don't make any sense to me.
Daniel Jones is, I don't know how tall he is, but he's white.
He's not
playing safety.
He's not
that good.
he's not Cooper out there playing safety and
No.
cornerback.
No.
Nope.
But 41.5.
I don't know if I trust either of these teams to score very well.
I would bet under.
Yeah,
I think I would think under, honestly, because like
and it's
They-
at New York.
It's going to be a
Or
mid-off.
New Jersey, wherever.
Is
New
New York-
Jersey, yeah.
Is New
But,
York
like,
still wrong with Drew Lock, or are they going back to Tommy DeVito?
I think DeVito.
DeVito played last game that I seen they were in.
Well, Drew Lock played
I
last
can't-
year.
Drew Lock
Drew
played
Lock-
last
That's
year.
what I'm saying. I don't.
Yeah.
Last game I seen.
Drew Lock
And-
played Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and he didn't
He didn't
too
do
hot.
anything.
No.
Under.
And the Saints have.
Cowboys got their first home win of the year.
Yeah.
What a Thanksgiving Day game. The Cowboys and the
Crazy.
Giants though.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
That's a good game. Take a nap.
Yeah, good on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Go back for seconds after
Yeah.
the fourth quarter
Yeah.
at that point.
Yep.
Awful halftime show. Laney Wilson with Jelly Roll.
Yeah, it
Awful
was
halftime
awful. That
show.
was
Really?
awful.
I didn't watch it.
Good.
Laney Wilson. Jelly roll. What a combination. At that
Not a
point.
good one.
All right. So, Saints Giants 41.5, taking the under. You all talk me into it.
I think I'll take the under. I don't know if the Saints can score. They've been struggling a little bit, and with Taysom Hill, he's done
He's done
for the year.
Yeah.
And it's like that was their like wild card. They just put him in there.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
just,
we need
like,
you to run the
score.
ball. We need you to catch the ball.
Yeah.
We
Throw
need you
the
to kick
ball.
the ball. Throw the. I mean,
They lost a valuable player there. And
need you to
Yeah.
be the ball boy.
Yeah.
You can do it all.
yeah, he would do everything. He'd get in the goal line when Kamara couldn't. So
Kamara started off the season hot. Now
He
he's
did.
yeah,
kinda
he's
MIA.
exactly. And I don't think this Saints team has gotten any better. So
No.
I mean, I wouldn't.
They're riddled with injuries. I don't
Yeah.
like it too much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Olave.
Olave's out.
Rashid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shaheed. Yeah.
Derek Carr is the most average quarterback you can find in the whole league.
If you want
Yeah.
7 points in fantasy football,
Derek
get
Carr
you
is your
Derek
guy.
Carr.
They need
For
Drew
sure.
Brees back to win this game.
Well,
Well,
be a field goal off.
I
just
think-
like Trevor Lawrence, Drew Brees is not walking back into that locker
Yeah,
room.
I know.
No.
And that's not a Trevor Lawrence died joke. That's a Clemson joke. So, under 41.5
I'll take
Saints
under.
Giants. I love it.
But
Yep.
for the record, I would take Saints money line. I don't know about the spread. I'm probably gonna stay away from it. And the Saints are minus 245. I don't even know if I'd bet that.
It,
There's
Not
no
enough
money
value
in it.
there.
Yeah,
Not
there's
enough
not
value.
value. It's not worth the risk.
no,
Yeah.
not enough value for the risk. Moving on. Seahawks Cardinals Over under 44.5. Cardinals are 2.5 points favorites.
No, this has shootout written all over it.
All
Yeah,
over.
I thought
Kyler
exactly,
Murray
yeah.
is reckless.
Yes.
He is going to throw it deep. He's going to get picked off. He's going to throw it deep again. He
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Same with the Seahawks. I mean, I think they can put up points.
Yeah.
I know that both of these defenses have actually surprisingly stepped up lately and looked decent, but I think it's still going to be a shootout, just a divisional rivalry.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shootout.
Over under 44.5. Bang the over.
I think so.
Oh, we got to take the
I think
over.
so. I mean, I don't.
Who is Seattle's quarterback right now?
Geno Smith.
Which he's
Could be, right?
been playing.
He's been
now
balling.
He has.
He's been balling.
No odds for him.
Yeah, he has no odds. They have no odds for any quarterback as the passing player yards or
No.
player passing.
No passing
touchdowns.
props right now as we're
He may not throw the
recording
ball.
this. That's crazy.
I don't know. The Legion of Boom is not on that. No.
Definitely.
So I agree with the shootout.
I do
Yeah.
like Geno though.
Yeah, Geno's kind of like a Jameis Winston. He's a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Bears, 49ers, 44.5 as well. Niners are 3.5 point favorites.
And they are
They're
riddled
riddled
with-
with injuries.
yes.
Yeah.
I still think they're the better team. I would probably take them and take their spread at -3.5, -110.
Yep.
But I think I'd take the under on this one. I don't think there's gonna be that much scoring going on.
I don't
Take the
either.
under.
Do the
Both
Bears-
of them have fairly decent defenses, and I don't think the Bears can put up enough points.
Do
It
the Bears
strikes
even have
me as a 21-13,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Do the Bears even have a head coach right now? Even an interim head coach?
You know, I've not seen.
We haven't seen anything.
I've not seen anybody name. I've not seen a graphic.
Yeah.
You know what? That's another thing. That under's getting slammed.
Under's getting slammed, and maybe even an alternate spread at that point because this game is at San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
In my personal parlay, I said -6.5. I
Yeah.
took Niners. I mean, I think they still got.
At the end of the day, they're still a
Debo,
still a-
Kittle,
a
Purdy.
well-coached team.
Yeah.
But they are a team that has struggled really bad in the red zone this season.
Yeah.
They have
But-
not been able to complete it. They can kick the field goal all they want, but
Yes.
they've been struggling to get a touchdown out of the red zone.
That is true. But does Louisville boy Isaac Grindo?
He had one opportunity earlier in the year, and he looked very good.
He did.
So
Yeah, I
I
mean he's
mean-
going to be their starter now, right?
Yeah.
Because McCaffrey's out for the season.
And
Mason.
Mason's out for. Is he out for the
I think he's
season?
out for the season.
done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Grindo comes in. I mean, he looked good at Louisville. As bad as I hate to say it.
I mean, he's looked
Yeah.
good the couple times he has come in for
He
Mason.
has.
Like when Mason was leading the charge and he
Yeah.
was RB2. He's looked decent.
Maybe spread hit the under 44.5. Give it an alternate spread with a Grindo touchdown.
ooh,
That would
yeah,
cook.
for sure. Yeah,
I like
Orlando. Yeah,
All right, Bills Rams over under 49.5.
this also tells me it might be a shootout.
Yeah.
Anything with Josh Allen, and then that's
If he's throwing passes to himself,
That-
he may score 50 by
The Bills are a team
Yeah.
that know how to put points on the board.
They are.
That's going to be a shootout.
But the Rams-
I'm taking the over.
the Rams can also put some points on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at 49.5. What do we think like the exact score is going to be though? Like what? I would take Bills. I'd take them to win by more than 3.5. Honestly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a close spread. I could see this being like a
5-24
35-24, 35-21 type game.
over slams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over may
Exactly.
hit in the first
Yeah.
half.
And then Bills spread will also hit. Like
Yeah.
you know, like I think this could be, yeah. I think Bills cash the over, and I think they'll cash the spread.
I agree with that. Josh Allen throwing passes to himself though.
No,
That
he's
was
still different.
insane. In the snow,
In the
too.
snow.
That was insane.
He got a passing touchdown and a receiving touchdown in that same. Like
And
how
a
does that even
rushing.
And a
possible?
rushing touchdown.
He's
How,
the
how did they
first
even
player
make
to
that
do it.
happen? Like,
I don't know if it's called this, but we should rename that the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'm
If
pretty
that's
sure-
not already taken, we're going to
Trademark that right now.
coin it here on Prime Picks Podcast. If you get a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a passing touchdown in a game, that's the Holy Trinity.
Holy
Yeah.
Trinity.
I mean, I'm
Trademark.
pretty sure Josh Allen's the only person that has had all three of those in one game.
I think Christian McCaffrey did last year.
Yeah, there was. I've
Yeah,
I've
maybe
seen the
this
stat.
season.
There
He was
was.
the only quarterback.
Only quarterback.
Oh, yes.
Because McCaffrey did last year.
Yeah.
Did Bo Nix? I know he had a receiving and a passing for sure. I don't know about a rush.
I don't
think
think
he
he
got
got
rushing
rushing
that
that one, but he is pretty dangerous for a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Low key.
Well, I mean, he should be almost 30. All right.
Also, Josh Allen started himself in fantasy. Don't know if y'all saw that.
I did see that.
Is that a conflict of interest?
It's like insider trading.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That should be illegal.
Hold on
If
a
you
second.
see him bench himself, then that's a problem.
Yeah. He starts benching himself and he throws like 3 picks. Yeah, then we might have an issue.
All right. Chargers Chiefs.
The primetime game.
Prime time, Sunday night, 8:20. 42.5 on the over/under. Chiefs 3.5-point favorites. We're really liking the 3.5 points this week in the NFL.
Yeah, there's a lot of close ones in here.
Close ones that, don't seem like they should be that close.
Exactly. Yep.
But Chargers Chiefs, have the Chiefs, I would like to know, I don't know if we can pull it up quick enough, have they hit the over in any of their games this year?
They have not been playing
they're
good.
That's,
50-50 split.
50-50 split.
They've been squeezing by wins
Yeah,
all year
they
long.
haven't been that impressive when it comes down to the wire. There's a lot of one possession games.
Yeah,
So
I would love to see
I don't
them
even
lose.
know if I like -3.5.
Yeah.
They could lose by a field goal. If anything,
Yeah.
I would take -2.5 just to get a little bit of value off the money line.
Yeah.
And you still, if you win by a field goal, it still cashes.
Yeah.
So I would do 2.5. Personally.
I think this is a game we skip the over/under on. Because,
Oh,
I
there's
could
no
see
way,
this
yeah.
being a 2017.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Both of these defenses have been very good.
Yeah. And the
And-
offense, Chiefs' offense has not been
No.
what it
It's
should
been
be.
stagnant.
No.
Yeah.
They've
Bad.
Yeah, and the Chargers offense hasn't really been that great.
No.
So if anything, I would take the under here. I know that 42.5 is a very low number though. So Vegas knows it's going to be a low scoring game.
Yeah.
So if we skip that, I wouldn't be mad.
I
Yeah.
would say every time I've bet this season on a prime time, either Thursday night, Sunday night, or Monday night game, it's always been the complete opposite, the complete chaos
Yeah.
that you were not expecting.
Yeah.
So I could honestly see this game slamming over, but I could also see it being like a 6-3 game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just completely crazy.
Exactly. That's why we're not
Look like a
putting money
baseball.
on it. Yep.
Look like a baseball game.
Yeah. You never
Yeah.
know how this one's going to go. It could
All
be
right.
a shootout or just nobody score.
I agree with that. Yep. So, for the record, skipping Chargers Chiefs. You won't hear any Taylor Swift slander here. That'll be for after the podcast. Just kidding. Bengals Cowboys over 49.5.
No
Bengals
way.
are favored 5.5 points.
No way. That's hitting the over
I'll
on
say
that
the
game.
I'll say it's a
I'll
shootout.
say the
I
over
say
hits.
it's a shootout.
Both defenses are horrible, and the Bengals put up 30 points a game themselves.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys even put up anything, I think that hits.
I think it hits easy.
So the Bengals have hit the over 9 times this season. The Cowboys
And they're,
games
how
have
many
been 8.
are they? Probably 0-9 in those games.
Damn
They
near
put up
close.
numbers
Yeah.
and lose every week.
That's kind of been the running joke of the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Is how close the Bengals come to winning and just
Blow
can't
it.
do it. Yeah.
I think they can finally do it this time. I don't think the Cowboys. I don't think Cooper Rush is the answer. I don't think they can keep up. I don't think Cooper Rush can keep up with Joe Burrow.
No.
I would take Bengals alternate at 6.5. Just have them by a touchdown.
Yeah.
And that would probably push into plus money.
I could see this being like a 42-21 game
Yeah.
where the 49.5, hits easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know. Jamar Chase might have 4 touchdowns alone in this game.
He
You know?
could.
Like,
I was going to say, how do we feel about
Throwing a Jamar
2
Chase
plus?
anytime. Up 2 plus.
2
yeah,
plus touchdown.
2 plus.
2
I mean,
plus.
yeah.
I'd say bet it.
I've only bet a 2+ touchdown on one player, and I sweated the entire game.
Oh, I
And it was last year with Stephon Diggs. And he got it, though. He got it. But what happened to Stephon Diggs?
He got traded to
Fell off.
Houston.
Yeah. Houston. Don't get me started on Houston receivers.
Yeah.
CJ
There's too many.
Stroud's kind of slacking this year.
He
Yeah.
has fell off a little bit.
He has.
And
He's not making passes he made
had a
all
pretty good
year
season
last
last
year.
year, but
He looked
yeah,
very
like you
good
said,
last
he's
year.
just
It's almost too
Fell
much
off.
talent and not enough chemistry between all
Yeah.
the
Joe
receivers.
Mixon's kind of got him
Tank
in the
Dell.
backpack.
I had Tank Dell on my fantasy team all season.
Dropped him.
I dropped him
Yeah.
because I
Seen that.
would play him when he sucked. I would sit him when he was good, and it was a toxic relaction.
Yeah, you
It
just don't
is.
need that in your lineup.
I don't.
No, he's bringing down the locker room.
He's bringing down morale.
Yeah.
Some would say we need to trade him.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I didn't know this. Apparently Tank Dell's on Last Chance U.
was he?
Really? Was it like EMCC or
I
some
don't
other
know.
one? Or
I was scrolling through TikTok one day and I seen a Coach Brown. You never skip a Coach Brown
No,
video.
no.
And I don't know if I can say what the video is saying on here. I probably shouldn't. We're too early into this to get bad reviews. But and then the little search bar underneath was Tank Dell Last Chance U. So I clicked on it.
So he was
So he played for J.B. Brown.
Yeah, Jason Brown.
Was he on Coach Brown's team?
That was Independence.
Was he on
Yeah.
Independence?
Yeah.
I've watched that season, and I don't remember hearing
No.
anything about Tank Dell.
Too
I
much
mean-
production. He might not have been a big character to follow. You know?
Right, he wasn't
might
Bobby
not-
Bruce.
He might not
Yeah,
have been a
I can focus
troublemaker.
on Bobby
Exactly.
Bruce that
Yeah.
year.
If he didn't cause enough trouble, then he probably didn't get the camera on him.
Yeah.
So-
But yeah, he was probably just out there playing ball. That's like Terry Wilson, UK quarterback. He was at,
New Mexico? No, not New Mexico.
before he was at New Mexico State, he was the team that Coach Brown played
I can't remember the team
on
name.
Last Chance U. Was it Garden City?
Oh, he
Garden
was.
City?
He was.
He
Garden
was-
I
City.
know I
Yeah.
heard Terry Wilson because I was
Big-
like, hey, he played at Kentucky.
Big
Yeah.
rival of
Yeah,
EMCC
Independence.
or Independence.
Independence and Garden City, they clashed every year. And so that's the one whenever Coach Brown and the other coach go out to, half field and almost get in a fight and goes back to the locker room. He's like, I should have socked him in the face.
Yeah.
With a few other words in there.
Words we
Tyreek
can't say.
Hill
Yeah.
went to Garden City as well.
Did he?
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I mean, it's been
He-
years, but still,
Where did he
Community
go? Was
college.
it South Alabama?
Yeah.
Is
I
where he
believe
went
so.
after that?
Yeah, I think so.
Last chance to you. They need to, I don't know. Coach Brown needs to make a comeback.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
Maybe we get
That
him
was
on
so
the
good.
Kentucky sideline this year. Mark Stoops, if you're listening,
I mean, what else we got to lose?
we need somebody to light a fire under these boys, and Jason Brown's the guy.
Yes.
Could you imagine
Can't hurt.
Jason Brown at a Division I college?
He'd probably be fired up the first week.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd make it through the interview.
No, I think he would.
Tyreek Hill went to West Alabama.
West
That's what it was.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama.
He went to Garden City Community College 2012 to 13, Oklahoma State in 2014, then West Alabama in 2015. Then went in the 5th round, 2016 draft.
Wow. Well, the more you know, boys. All right, so that concludes our college football NFL lineup. If you were following along, I've got 13 picks on mine. I didn't go with every one we talked about. I just kind of hit the main points, basically over-unders, and then a few spreads we talked about. $1 wins $3,664. Like I said, we're not here to throw $100 on a bet. We're real people. $5 takes it up $18,000. $10, $36,643.46.
I'll help with the
Not
holidays
bad.
coming up.
That would help with the holidays coming
That would
up.
help a lot.
For a couple holidays.
A couple holidays. So,
At the cost of like $1.
and like we said in the earlier, we're not cappers. We're not here to trick you all into buying any subscription.
No scheme.
We're not selling a subscription. We're just selling fun.
That's right.
And I'm gonna go ahead and put $10 on this to win $36,000. If it hits, hey, you're gonna see this posted somewhere. Devin Hood, Austin Lanham, Nathan Caldwell, Stuart Young, Matthew Burkhead, Trevor Devine's in here with us. We're going to be the only ones that actually may lock this in. So if anybody else posted, they stole it.
For sure.
All right, guys. That's going to conclude episode 1 of the Prime Picks podcast. Hopefully we're back, once a week, kind of is what we're thinking on doing with this. Same thing with our Prime Kentucky Sports. Make sure you're looking out for that. We had to skip this week. Tyler Jones, one of our chief intel officers, wasn't able to make it out this week. So we're going to come at you with more Kentucky sports, hopefully, in the very near future. Got the big Gonzaga game coming up tomorrow. The Kentucky football program's in shambles. We're losing everybody to the transfer portal. Don't have anybody coming in either. No big announcements. I know the portal isn't officially open yet, but
One-way door.
one-way door. It's not looking good. Mark Stoops just can't find that door.
No.
He needs to find the door.
He needs to find it quick.
Yeah, this isn't the Kentucky sports podcast, but one thing real quick, I just don't see a world where this gets better for Mark Stoops in Kentucky football.
No, I don't either.
It feels like Cal. It's like, if this goes on for another 5 years, it's going to be more of the same.
It's just like Cal too. Cal didn't want to get with the program, as far as, upgrading to the modern college basketball. It's just like, and that's how Stoops is with the NIL. He wants no part of it, and he's just got to get with the program.
Yeah, which apparently we got a lot of money. We've lost a lot of guys to the portal.
The money's there.
The money is there. It's just, do we have a guy that can use it? My other thing about Stoops, since we're on it real quick, he's coming back. I don't think we,
I don't think he's going to pull a Calipari.
No, I don't think anybody's going to pick him up. I don't think he's going to retire. I wouldn't either. I'm not going to leave $44 million on the table.
No.
That's crazy to think anybody would do that. But he comes back next year. I think we're going to have a similar season, maybe even a little worse. He's already kind of said he doesn't want to coach for a long time. So it feels like we're just kind of renting a coach year to year when we're missing out on, good young guys. John Summerall coming up. We're going to miss out on these guys just to maybe get 2 to 3 more years of Stoops.
And the big issue is the money's not there to fire Mark Stoops. You can't fire him.
No.
You can't do it.
Unless I hit the lottery.
Unless these bets hit.
Yeah,
maybe we can donate. Maybe we can make it happen.
If these bets hit, if I win $36,000 Sunday night, Club Blue, you're getting $10, $15. Go ahead and put it in the fund. Speaking of Club Blue, I picked up the white label Club Blue bourbon. That was $34. I would like my proceeds, whatever comes out of that, 2%, 5%, to go to basketball.
Please.
Give it to Mark Pope. Just go ahead and send it on over, fax it, check. I don't know what y'all are doing with that. Don't send that anywhere near the football program.
No. That's a waste of money at this point.
Yeah. I mean, we're not being harsh. We're just being realistic.
Yep.
All right, guys. End of episode 1, Prime Picks. Thank you all for listening.